Wisconsin, where lots and lots and lots of protesters in the streets, and at the state capitol, where the Wisconsin response to that state having an all-Republican-controlled government this year, and to those Republicans using their one-party power in the state to strip union rights and a whole lot more. For their trouble, for the resulting fight in the Wisconsin State Senate, a good chunk of the Wisconsin State Senate is going to be up for recall really soon. Recall elections for 6 Republican senators and 3 Democratic senators are scheduled for July 12th. Now, that's really fast as elections go, and Republicans would like to slow that down because, this. So Republicans have decided to try to push back the recall elections by forcing there to be a Democratic Party primary election as well before the final recall elections happen. Now, think about that, though. The primary election is where the Democrats face off against each other to decide who's going to be in the general. You only need to have a primary election if there's more than one Democrat who wants to compete in the general. If only one Democrat is running, no need for a primary. That's what the Democrats are planning on doing. So the recall elections could be July 12th. Republicans have decided they don't like that idea. And so Wisconsin Republicans have decided to, I am not kidding, invent fake Democrats, simply for the purpose of forcing there to be a primary election, thus delaying the general. They are doing this, and we know about it because they are admitting it. In a letter sent out by 2 county Republican chairmen and in a nearly identical letter obtained by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel signed by a Republican district chairman, Wisconsin Republicans are being told to support protest candidates, fake Democratic candidates who are not actual Democrats running for office as Democrats. They're being told to support protest candidates, fake Democratic candidates in 2 recall elections. Quote, "We need to make sure Democrat challengers face primaries to allow our Republicans time to mount a campaign. A Democratic primary will push the general election back by 1 month so that the Republican can have more time to organize a campaign against his liberal challenger." Today, the Green Bay Gazette reports a 3rd fake Democrat is entering into a recall race in order to force a primary and delay that election, too. His name, the one reported by the Green Bay Gazette today, the name of that spoiler is Otto Junkerman. Thank you. Otto Junkerman, best name in politics today. The 82-year-old Otto Junkerman served in the state assembly as a Republican for 1 term many, many years ago, but now he's going to run, technically, as a Democrat, just to force there to be a Democratic primary. When asked if he was a spoiler candidate, Mr. Junkerman told reporters today, quote, "I don't know how I could avoid being considered that." That unabashedness was matched by the Republican leader in the state Senate, who tells the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that he fully endorses the idea of the Republican Party fielding fake Democratic candidates in recall elections against Republicans just to delay the general. Dirty tricks and underhandedness have been a part of elections as long as there have been ballot boxes and stump speeches and babies to kiss. But here's the thing about underhandedness. It's supposed to be underhanded. You're not supposed to admit it. You're not supposed to be proud of it. You have to at least pretend like you have some principles about these things. You're supposed to at least pretend like you're taking a principled stand with your fake candidate spoilers, that it's really about your philosophical scruples as Republicans or about cutting the budget or something. Although that last one will be a difficult case to make in Wisconsin. You can't really say it's all about the budget when this thing that you're doing tacks on an additional unnecessary ginned-up primary election that otherwise wouldn't have taken place and that will cost Wisconsin taxpayers thousands of dollars for no real purpose other than giving yourself a partisan advantage. Also awkward is the fact that in dozens of states across the country, Republicans in state government have been ringing the bell about voting integrity, right? The integrity of our elections is under attack, they say. We must protect them with voter ID bills and bills that make it harder to register, bills that make it more difficult to vote, more difficult to register, and that make those things disproportionately harder for likely Democratic voters. But it's all about elections with integrity, right? Right? Republicans in Wisconsin, the sanctity of the democratic process and all that red, white, and blue jazz. The manipulation of the election process in Wisconsin right now is so bald-faced and undisguised that not even the conservative publication, the National Review, says they can endorse it. Even they were like, guys, we're with you generally, but this is a really gross way to win, and it might not work. Quoting from the National Review, This will almost certainly be seen as a dirty trick by media and some voters. You think? It certainly appears like an admission that Republicans are struggling. This ploy could backfire. And at this point, this year, Republicans in Wisconsin know exactly what it means for something to backfire.